Right, okay, are we ready for our next act? I fell in love with this performer when we met them at the Glory. Please go wild, they are just gold. Please welcome to the stage, Emily Baum!
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Hello! Hello. Do you know the weird thing? It's just like my front room at home. Exactly the same thing. I've done something special with my hair tonight. It's kind of a combination between drag queen and sex pest. I hope you like it. I think it'll catch on. Thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to be here at the finals. So exciting. I'm imagining it's going to be a bit like the the Game of Thrones finale. It's all dragons, hags and fags. From the front, I'm often mistaken for Victoria Wood. From the back, it's more, excuse me, sir. I entered Pride's Got Talent because I was having a midlife crisis. Yes. It all started because 6 of my family members died. Yeah, it's the worst dinner party I've ever thrown. Indeed, indeed. No, it was the worst dinner party I've ever thrown. Mine's an alternative midlife crisis. Alternative because I don't know what a lesbian midlife crisis looks like. Not that I'm a lesbian, I'm just nosy. I want to know what a lesbian midlife crisis looks like. No, I'm kidding. For those of you that haven't seen one of us in the wild before, I am a lesbian. Thank you. My wife is also a lesbian, which is a bit of luck. Otherwise, that could have been a difficult conversation when I took the handcuffs off. I've had gayness for about 40 odd years. I did try a patch. Just made me look like a lesbian pirate. I'm newish to the LGBT community. I did apply 30 years ago, but assumed you were oversubscribed with Boy George and Sandy Togsvig. I'm not a cool member of the LGBT community. For starters, I get the letters mixed up, and then they added P's and Q's, and now I find myself saying LGBT please and thank you. I do now know that the Q stands for questioning, which is nice. It's nice to include old people who are always questioning. What time is it? When's dinner? Why is my son living with a man called Brian? Things like that. This is my first time I've ever been around so many gorgeous drag queens. I was quite conflicted backstage. Then this lovely young woman came up to me and asked if I could see the outline of her knob through her mini dress. That brought me back down to earth. Why is it drag queens never model themselves on middle-aged housewives? There is a whole world of elasticated waistbands to explore. The ladies have been very generous and given me some beauty tips. Save money on Botox. Hairspray your face. Just make sure you shut your eyes, though, because there's a gentleman backstage, looks like he had the shock of his life. Or he might have seen the outline of the knob through the mini dress. I'm not sure. Not sure. I got my first pride flag this year. Yeah. It's quite exciting. It was my first ever rainbow flag. I didn't get a George or a Bungle, but I was quite confident I'd get a Jeffrey. So, as a middle-aged mum, I try to keep healthy. I recently lost 8 stone. Yeah. I found it all again under a pile of empty wine bottles. The trouble is I don't like exercise. I think it's dangerous. My father had one personal training session and his kidneys failed. He had been drinking solidly for 40 years, but you can never be too sure. My wife's got us into midweek vegetarianism. Yeah, I know. No meat, but I can eat as many vegetarians as I like. I've had so much bread, I think I've given myself a yeast infection. I'm 43. Thank you, thank you. Which, according to Psychology's magazine, means I'm at my sexual peak. If my sexual peak had low expectations and a subscription to Psychology's magazine. At 43, your sexual peak is a walking holiday in the Peak District with a group of women, all with dusty vaginas. It's not good. It's not good. I've had a bit of a rough week, actually. It's been a bit rough. I've been a bit stressed, with the final coming up. Last night, my wife caught me having an after 8, and it was only 6:30. Yeah. I've also been told I'm lactose intolerant. Yeah, so it made that after 8 a risky decision. Yeah, I'm trying not to overreact. I've slapped a do not resuscitate order on myself. A lesbian who can't eat chocolate, what's the point? No, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself being a lactose intolerant lesbian. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. There's nothing better than being a lactose intolerant lesbian. It just screams attention seeker. It's like I can only pigeonhole myself to things that begin with the letter L. Thank God leprosy died out. Do you know, sometimes I look in the mirror and I think, God, I look mumsy. So I have a glass of wine. Then I think, oh, I am someone's mum. So I have half a bottle of wine. At that point, I'm so smashed I can't remember where I've left the child. So, I do try and be a good mum. I don't always get it right. So my daughter came to me recently. She came grave-faced. She said, I've got something to tell you. She said, Mummy, I'm a heterosexual. She didn't say it like that. It just sounded foreign to me. I tried not to overreact. I went with the things that my mother had said to me when I came out to her and her advice. So I started with, it's okay, some of my best friends are heterosexuals. Some of my best friends are kleptomaniacs, but you don't hear me bragging. I then went with, are you sure it's not a phase? And then I finished with, which one of you's the man? Oh, turns out in this one there is a man in that relationship. Didn't see that one coming. Well, I'm devastated. Actively looking for a heterosexual support group. Yeah. I just hope she gets knocked up so I don't have to pay for a wedding. I've been Emily. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, give it up for Emily Baum. Well done, darling. Oh. Oh. Just quickly, my son is... I have a son, this isn't comedy, but my son is showing telltale signs. He likes his football and he likes his train set. We're bracing ourselves. Oh, judges, hi. So we haven't seen you yet. It's Stuart, Saint and Adam All, everybody. And I can see Adam's primed with a microphone. Take it away, Adam.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I don't need to ask, we've just done that bit. That was fab. So relatable and so warm and so fantastically gentle and beautiful, and the timing of it, brilliant. So funny. So funny. I loved it. And you came on and I relaxed straight away. Thank you so much. Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Stuart.
I saw you in your heat and in the semi-final and then back here today, and every time you just stepped up and elevated. Every single time you brought us new material, and I absolutely loved it. And the best thing was I was watching the audience and watching everyone hang off your every word and your joke and laughing and responding, and it just made me so proud. And also the heterosexual joke is like the best thing ever. If you were at the Edinburgh Fringe, you would win the best joke at the Fringe. It was amazing. Well done, great set.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, judges. Please, everyone, show some love for Emily.